The book I chose this week is Interrupting Chicken, written and illustrated by David Ezra Stein, with a copyright date of 2010, published by Candlewick Press. This is a picture storybook appropriate for children ages 2 through 8. And of course, you would need to read to the younger children, but the older children could probably handle it themselves. This story is set in Papa Chicken and Little Red Chicken's home, specifically in Little Red Chicken's bedroom. They're the only two characters, and Papa Chicken is trying to get Little Red Chicken to sleep, and she has asked Papa to read her a bedtime story, and he says he will do that if she can not interrupt, which she agrees to do. So he begins by telling her Hansel and Gretel, and you can see the illustrations change when Papa tells her a classic story. It looks like a picture book. The colors are different, a little more old-fashioned, so are the illustrations. But Little Red Chicken cannot help herself. She interrupts him, and you can see her bursting into the scene. So he kindly and patiently tells her, "Don't interrupt me," and she's asked for one more story, which he agrees to read to her, and again she interrupts. So this happens 3 times until finally Papa says, "You know what? You tell me a story." So Little Red Chicken tells Papa a story. And you can see that, again, the illustrations have changed. It looks like crayon with the crude little children's drawings. And Papa falls asleep in Little Red Chicken's bed, and she snuggles up beside him, and that is the end of the story. The theme of this story is patience and understanding and following directions. Papa shows patience and understanding with Little Red Chicken, and she needs to learn a routine, so he's trying to establish a routine. All of those themes are very appropriate for a classroom. It reminds me a lot of when I would try to put my own children to bed. I have 4 of them, and we would try to establish routines, and they would just get wild and wired at bedtime, and I was never quite as patient as Papa. I think well, let me talk about the illustrations a little bit. So they're very colorful, they're very cartoony. There's painting, there's some drawings with crayon, sketchy crayon quality, and then again it gets a little more old-fashioned looking to change the scene when Papa is telling a classic tale like Chicken Little. And then again, I showed you at the end, and these are very sketchy with pencil drawing. It's not quite as colorful. And at the end, we've got a whole different look when Little Chicken's telling her story. So I was thinking a great project would be to have the kids on the rug read the story and talk about Little Chicken's behavior and how she should be acting towards Papa Chicken and how she could be respectful. Then have the kids go back to the seat, and on the whiteboard have a big rectangle with a line down the middle. On one side it could say respectful student, on the other side interrupting student, and then read off scenarios with magnets on the back that might say raise your hand, don't talk when the teacher's talking, wait your turn, things like that, and call on children to walk up and put them on the appropriate side of the board. And that is Interrupting Chicken.